I recently joined the commission, and we are here so that we can discuss with you. You are the stakeholders, and issues of recruitment we want to share with you because we will be recruiting soon, but we have a draft document which we want to discuss with you. I request that for our Deputy Director to take us through so that you can understand what it entails, and then we can discuss after she takes you through. I urge you to listen to her.
It has been a challenge mostly in our areas on the issue of height, because some people in our area are very short, and it has become like a disability. So whenever people from our area go through that recruitment exercise, when they are discovered they are short, it seems as if it is a disability. So in my view, there is need to be good clarification of this physical assessment. What are you checking? Thank you very much.
My name is Bahari. The issue is of the 3 phases of recruitment. Phase 1, it's being done online, and I am sure most of the youth will be on the portal to apply. So how good is the system in terms of going down, because there will be a lot of traffic.
Jerimongi, mimi ni mwanaharakati. Hata hivyo, I'm also a trained human resource professional. And so I also lead an organization that champions for gender justice and matters of education, training, and digital literacy. Our intersection with this is because recruitment intersects with gender justice. It also intersects with education, training, and literacy, which are part of the pillars that we champion for. So we have several, and kindly allow me 5 minutes, and I'll be also very brief. Number one part of the recommendations that we found out through, I may not be able to cite all the clauses, but at least I'll make the recommendations as per what we were able to read. The organization I'm representing is a coalition for peace and gender champions, bringing across different women rights organizations. And so as I make this presentation, it reflects the real realities of people within the grassroots communities in Nyeri County and Mount Kenya region at large. So number 1, to that gender role in appointments and leadership. It would be very important to note that at least there should be gender parity within those appointed, those recruited, and appointment. I'm saying this because even as of today, when you go through the list of those appointed, for example, to the level of OCPD, OCSs, we still don't have gender principle applied even at regional level, because we cannot be able to say that clearly we have the two-third gender equation, for example, in Nyeri County across all the police stations in this region. Number 2, digital recruitment to prevent corruption. I am very happy to see that you are embracing the digitalization agenda of the government. However, I keep on wondering why it's going digital and then at some point it's getting physical. I don't think any time ninapoenda kutafuta ID, what is it? The passport. For example, the people in charge at Nyao House have ever called me to go and verify anything. I do everything online and expect to go and pick my passport on the day when they've said I go and pick. And so the human interaction on the recruitment panels, I see a lot of loopholes and a lot of opportunities and loopholes to exchange money. The only person I would expect, for example, for the task force to remain is where Madam Paris sits, because it's at governance level and it is where she intersects with the parliament. And so any other panel that is being called technical and other selection panels, to me they are not relevant, and according to us, because those are points of money exchange. There are points of people being denied opportunities that they've gone through, and there are points where I cannot be able to explain that people are always disqualified on very menial reasons. Let it all be through the system. Number 3, multi-agency verification for paperless recruitment. At the very point where I want to apply, for example, to be a police officer, and I go to the portal, number 1, I also want to request that one of the requirements of a good human resource system is one that is technically integrated. That is, we call it human resource information and management systems. I think Madam Lucy she's a HR professional, she understands that. And so I keep on wondering why during recruitment all my certificates cannot be uploaded there. At this point, I've also noted the omission, for example, of the Ministry of Health. I know there are health officers somewhere there where you've indicated, but at least when you tell me to go and do all the tests prescribed there from a national hospital, and all of those certificates I'm able to upload them online, then I will not see the reason why you will need to give me an appointment letter, then tell me to come out from the service because I have a medical ailment. At the point whereby my certificate of clean bill of health I have from a national hospital goes through the system, and so the system integrates also with the Ministry of Health, whereby I cannot upload a system that says my blood sugar or my, I'm hypertensive, and I'm still allowed to go through on to the system, only to be eliminated when I have an appointment letter to Kiganjo. And so there is need for multi-agency verification for paperless recruitment. This includes also the involvement of Ministry of Education, all those agencies that are involved in ensuring that the system moves on swiftly and fast. I don't need to present the papers again to prove that I went through secondary education, yet there is a system that I should have done everything, on my behalf. The other one is, I think I had pointed out, abolish traditional recruitment panels and only remain with the point where the commissioner sits. Independent observers in recruitment. Mine would be that you include other civil society organizations with expertise in human rights and gender justice to be enjoined on the observers bit, because I believe this will be besides Kenya National Human Rights Commission, the Ombudsman, and any other. And so it would be important for human rights organizations to be enjoined there. Also remove vague advertising clauses. For example, any other information the commission may consider necessary from recruitment advertisements to prevent the introduction of unclear or biased requirements. On the advertisement, there is a bit that says any other information the commission may consider necessary. I think having done all the bits of where and everything, there would be no need for any other additions. Again, extended recruitment portal period. I think it would be very wrong that we still go back to the recruitment of like we're doing this within 7 days. This should be an ongoing process for a whole year, where the portal is open for 8 months or even 9 months for people to apply, and the actual shortlisting happens for the next 3 months. And so we don't have a lot of people having anxiety, parents having anxiety in bribes just because the commission or the recruitment is happening within a week. Within that week, a lot of families get broke. A lot of young people get into depression. And so it should be an ongoing process, whereby for the whole 9 months the portal is open. Then it's closed for now the commission to take up the place and do its work. Again, specify the source of letters of recommendations. That was not specified. So I don't know whether it's a letter of recommendation from my chief, from my pastor, from my DCC, or from my doctor. That should be very specific. From who? The letter of recommendation. Again, regionalized interview venues. I do not need to board a bus to Nairobi to go and do my interview there. There is the central region where the National Police Service has its headquarters. That should be the region where each and every Kenyan within that region goes to. Perhaps I've been recruited I come from a very unfortunate family. At Atuna Fair. So I went through the online system, and at that particular point, I come from a very disadvantaged position. What is the point of someone coming from all the way from Northeastern to go and pick a letter? It should be, for me, it should be localized to the regional office of the National Police Service.
That are involved in this recruitment process carry the authority and face of the commission, so that we recruit using the service as well as involvement of the employer. The other justification is we are effecting so many police reforms. You know, like the previous task force that was on the ground, the Maraga task force, came up with a report that are so many reforms that should be effected in the service. And these reforms are geared towards strengthening the transparency, professionalism, accountability, and public confidence. Because we are all consumers of the police services. So as a public, as a consumer of the police service, you want the best. So that's why we are coming to seek your views, because we all consume the police services. The other justification is we want to comply with Section 4E and 20D of the statutory instrument. Now, the statutory instrument empowers us as a regulatory making authority, as a commission. It empowers us to review the statutory instrument, and this regulation will be approved by Parliament. So we are ensuring that as we make this regulation, we are reviewing, but we are not only reviewing internally, because we have done it internally, we have done it the way we think it's best. We are supposed also to elicit the views of the public so that we make it better in order to restore public confidence during this recruitment process. What is the purpose and objective of these draft regulations? Now, as I said, we have reviewed these regulations internally, and we have also consulted some stakeholders. We've written to 87 institutions to give us their views as stakeholders, and as members of the public, we are calling upon you to also assist us with your views so that these views can be processed further to ensure that now the regulation is approved by Parliament and gazetted for use, so that we have a better recruitment process. Now, the specific purpose and objective for this draft regulation, one is to provide clear and standardized procedure for recruitment of members of the service. We want to ensure the recruitment panels that will be on the ground undertaking the recruitment. What they are doing in various recruitment centers in the country, whatever is done in Central is the same process and procedure that is followed in Mombasa, in Wajir, in Mandera, in Busia, everywhere in the country. So we want to standardize the process so that when we bring in these members of the service, we are bringing in members who have followed a due process that is standard. Now, the members of the service here, we talk of the uniformed and the non-uniformed officers. You will enter the National Police Service as a uniformed or as a civilian. Now, for the uniformed officers, we have 3 services as per Article 243 of the National Police Service Act. We have 3 services. We have the Kenya Police Service, we have the Administration Police Service, we have the DCI. So those are the units that are provided for by that act. And now when we recruit you will join either of these services. We also have the GSU, the General Service Unit, which is part of the formation in the service. So you will join and train in either of these services. And now, if you join the Kenya Police Service and the DCI, you will train at the National Police Service, at the National Police College, main campus in Kiganjo. If you are joining the Administration Police Service, you will train at the National Police College, Embakasi A campus. If you are joining the General Service Unit, You will train at the National Police College, Embakasi B, and those are the services that you can join as we recruit you. The other purpose of this regulation is to provide fair, objective, transparency, and uphold standards as prescribed in the Constitution. Now, we have the national values and principles of governance under Article 10. We have the national public service values under Article 232. So we should ensure that we are transparent, we are fair, and we are objective as we recruit these new members of the service. The other purpose is we need to specify the roles and responsibilities of persons that will be involved in the recruitment process. So they need to be to understand their roles and their responsibilities, because it is a process that involves the National Police Service and the Commission. So we carry it jointly together, and we need to ensure that each person understands their role. We also have to ensure that efficiency, transparency, and accountability of the recruitment process is enhanced by leveraging on technology in line with the government's commitment to digitize public services. Now, this is where the great departure from the previous regulation, 2015. This draft regulation is heavy on technology. You realize that we are looking at the 3 phases of recruitment, whereby phase 1 will be highly digitized so that we are able to do it online. And when it comes to phase 2, which will be the physical assessment, it can be done now in the recruitment centers physically. We have the subject matter of the regulation, the key highlights in the regulation. This draft regulation provides for the governance structure, the organs that will be involved in the recruitment and process. We have the first organ is the National Police Recruitment Steering Committee. This committee comprises of the members of the commission, and these members are the civilian commissioners and the commanders. We have our commissioner, Madam Paris Kimani, will be part of this committee. This is an apex committee, a steering committee that handles all matters of recruitment and approves each and every process of the recruitment and all the complaints, anything that is done. This is the apex committee that handles the recruitment issues. We have the National Police Recruitment Technical Committee. Now, this is a committee comprising of the technical officers from the National Police Service and the Commission. They come together to ensure that whatever processes and functions they are mandated to do, they are able to do it so that we can recruit the best qualified candidates. We have the recruitment panels. And this is a very great change from the previous regulation, because the recruitment panels are constituted to undertake recruitment in all the centers within the country. So these panels also comprise of members of the National Police Service and members of the National Police Service Commission. So it will be an hybrid composition of panel. We also have that the regulation is emphasizing again on equity, integrity, merit, and national values as contained in Article 10 and 232 of the Constitution. As we go through the regulation in details, you see how that is captured and coming up. We are also ensuring that the regulation is taking into account in the recruitment process the needs of the service in terms of ethnicity, regional, and gender balance. We have taken a keen interest on these parameters because it is one of the requirements under Section 10 of the Act. We are required to ensure regional and ethnicity and gender balance when we are recruiting. So in the recruitment, we will ensure that we have the face of Kenya. The service represents the face of Kenya in terms of all the ethnic communities. And now, the ethnic communities usually use the 2019 National Population Census Report. That is where we draw the list of communities in Kenya. When it comes to gender, we have a formula that we will determine the type of the number of slots in terms of gender. The regional balance is very key because, again, we are supposed to ensure we are all represented. And also, what you can't see there is persons with disability. Are they in this room? Are there representation or representatives in this room? Now, the PWD for the uniformed officers, we don't look at that parameter because we are looking at physically fit officers whom we can recruit and train so that they are able to perform the policing work. You know, policing is a calling.